Sam Bankman-Fried stole $8 billion from ordinary people. His ex-girlfriend, who helped execute the fraud, received 2 years, and she's already free. His co-founder, who built the software that made the theft possible, received no prison time at all. He now works for the federal government. And Bankman-Fried himself is actively pursuing a presidential pardon. His parents have already consulted lawyers connected to Trump's inner circle. This is the story of how the system protected its own. In 2019, Bankman-Fried launched FTX, a cryptocurrency exchange. By January 2022, the company was valued at $32 billion. Bankman-Fried himself was personally worth $26 billion. During this rise, he donated at least $40 million to Democratic campaigns and causes. He became one of the party's largest donors. He visited the White House. He testified before Congress. He met privately with SEC Chairman Gary Gensler on multiple occasions. Simultaneously, his co-CEO was funneling millions to Republican candidates. When this was exposed, Bankman-Fried admitted the Republican donations were deliberately hidden because he didn't want to be cancelled by his liberal base. He was buying protection from both parties. And it worked. Until it didn't. Here's what was actually happening inside FTX. When customers deposited money on the exchange, they believed it was being held safely. But it wasn't. Bankman-Fried was secretly transferring billions to Alameda Research, his private hedge fund. His co-founder, Gary Wang, built a backdoor into FTX's code. It allowed Alameda to withdraw unlimited customer funds, $65 billion in credit with no alerts, no oversight, and no record. Caroline Ellison ran Alameda. She was also Bankman-Fried's on and off girlfriend. They lived together in a $40 billion Bahamas penthouse with 8 other employees. Court testimony suggested overlapping romantic relationships within the house. Ellison knew the funds were stolen. She personally created several different falsified balance sheets to hide the deficit from lenders and investors. $8 billion in customer money was used for real estate purchases, political donations, venture investments, and failed trades. Court documents also revealed internal discussions about purchasing the island nation of Nauru. The stated purpose: building a bunker compound to survive a catastrophic event that kills up to 99% of humanity. The memo mentioned genetic enhancement research. This is where stolen customer funds were being directed. In November 2022, a CoinDesk article exposed irregularities in Alameda's balance sheet. Customers panicked. $6 billion in withdrawal requests hit FTX in 72 hours. But the money wasn't there. Bankman-Fried tried desperately to find a bailout. According to testimony, he attempted to secure funding from the Saudi Crown Prince. He allegedly tried to bribe Chinese government officials with $100 million to unfreeze funds stuck overseas. But none of it worked. On November the 11th, 2022, FTX filed for bankruptcy. John Ray III, the restructuring expert who handled Enron's collapse, was brought in to assess the damage. His conclusion: FTX was worse than Enron. He quoted, "Never in my career have I seen such a complete failure of corporate controls and such a complete absence of trustworthy financial information." Billions in customer funds had been managed through Slack messages. The company's auditor, Praga Metis, had opened a headquarters in a virtual reality video game. The SEC later sued them for negligence. In December 2022, Bankman-Fried was arrested in the Bahamas and extradited to the United States. While awaiting trial, he couldn't stop talking. He gave interviews to every major outlet. He leaked Ellison's private diary to the New York Times in an apparent attempt to discredit her. The judge revoked his bail and sent him to jail. In October 2023, his trial began. Caroline Ellison was the prosecutor's star witness. When asked to identify the defendant, she couldn't locate him in the courtroom for nearly 30 seconds. He had received a haircut in jail. This detail matters because Ellison testified that Bankman-Fried's disheveled appearance, the messy hair, the casual clothes, the Toyota Corolla was entirely calculated. He believed the image made him more money and more sympathetic. She testified he returned a nicer car specifically to be seen driving something modest. And the persona of the awkward genius who sleeps on beanbags was manufactured. She also testified that Bankman-Fried told her he believed that he had a 5% chance of becoming president of the United States. Ellison spent 3 days on the stand, systematically detailing every element of the fraud. In November 2023, Bankman-Fried was found guilty on all 7 counts. In March 2024, he was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison with $11 billion in forfeiture. Now, consider the co-conspirators. Caroline Ellison received 2 years. The judge praised her as the best cooperating witness he had seen in 3 decades, and she was released in January 2026. Gary Wang, who built the secret back door, received no prison time at all, and Nishad Singh, the head of engineering, received no prison time either. Ryan Salam, who refused to cooperate, received 7.5 years. Bankman-Fried is now appealing his conviction, and in November 2025, Federal Appeals Court heard arguments. The judges appeared skeptical, with one asking his lawyers, "Are you seriously suggesting the not guilty verdicts would have rolled in?" Since his imprisonment, Bankman-Fried has granted an unauthorized interview to Tucker Carlson and began publicly praising Donald Trump. He was placed in solitary confinement as a result. His parents are Stanford law professors with deep political connections. His mother runs a Democratic fundraising network. His father helped draft tax legislation. Reports indicate they have consulted attorneys with ties to Trump's first presidential campaign. A pardon is not outside the realm of possibility for someone who once bought politicians across the spectrum. And then there is a matter of the victims. FTX's bankruptcy estate announced that customers would receive approximately 118% of their account value at the time of the collapse. This sounds like a recovery, but it isn't. The valuation is locked to November 2022 prices. Bitcoin was $16,000 then. Today, it exceeds nearly $90,000. A customer who held 1 Bitcoin on FTX will receive roughly $17,000, not $90,000. The bankruptcy proceedings formalized their losses at the worst possible moment. Then, crypto markets recovered without them. Legal observers have called it the second theft. Sam Bankman-Fried stole $8 billion from regular people. He purchased political access on both sides. His co-conspirators received no meaningful punishment. Celebrities who promoted the fraud settled quietly and kept most of their fees. Customers are being repaid in depreciated dollars. And now there's talk of a presidential pardon. This is how accountability works when you're connected.